Hello, everyone, and welcome back to episode 2 of the Banter Waight Boxing podcast. Pound for pound, the best boxing podcast around. I'm here with my three brothers, Joe, Jimmy, and Johan. Everyone say hello.
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 Okay, to get this started, let's look at the boxing headlines going on in boxing at the moment. So, the first headline, Freddie Roach says Manny Pacquiao might want Golovkin next. Johan, is there any truth in this? Is this a bit ridiculous? What do you make of it?
I'd rather see Freddie Roach fight Triple G. I don't know. It sounds ridiculous, but if I think about the outcome, immediately I think that Triple G would smash his face in. But do you know what? It might go the way of Canelo Kovalev. I thought the same in that fight, but maybe Pacquiao could pull something off if that fight was to happen. But I doubt very much it will.
Yeah, it seems fairly unlikely, but it would be a kind of interesting prospect if it did happen. But anyway, moving on to headline number 2, Tyson Fury versus Deontay Wilder 3 is set to take place either in November or December. Now, this fight, there's talks about it happening in China or the US. Over to you, Jim. Are you still excited for this fight, given the last one, how it went? Are you still pumped for it, for the trilogy?
Yeah, Mike, I'm still pumped. I think the world right now needs some distraction. Sport is a great way to bring people together, even if it is two people punching the lights out of each other. But I'm still excited. I think we could all do with it sooner rather than later. But like I said, there's a lot going on in the world right now, and I think we could all do with a distraction. And I'd love to see the fight sooner rather than later. God bless.
God bless, definitely. Very well, nicely put there, Jim. Over to the final headline, Francis Ngannou versus Dillian White. That was pretty poetic from Jimmy there. Over to the final headline, Francis Ngannou versus Dillian White, set to take place in a boxing ring. So, Joe, what do you make of this fight?
No, that's again, it's an interesting one. Once again, we're seeing the two worlds of mixed martial arts and boxing sort of collide. Both big hitters. Obviously, Ngannou's style in the octagon is more sort of stand up. So, and that matched with Dillian White's experience in kickboxing we could be in for a good little bout there. I can see why they'd want to do it in a boxing ring. Obviously, there's probably more money in that. And if you're White at the minute, you've been frozen out by Eddie Hearn, and you're thinking, may as well, you're waiting for that title shot, being mandatory for Yonks. Why not make a bit of money in the meantime? Put on a show.
Yeah, I think it's a really exciting fight if they do make it. We saw how well Mayweather, Conor McGregor did. If they want to make some money, good on them. And I wouldn't mind if this fight went over to the octagon afterwards. Joey, as you just said, Dillian White, he's done a bit of kickboxing. I'd love to see Dillian White in almost a street fight.
Mike, to be fair, Dillian White's pre-fight press conferences are normally mixed martial arts. You'll get to see that in the build-up anyway.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, well, we've covered the 3 headlines in boxing. As you can see, there is really nothing going on in boxing at the moment, so I struggled to pull together three headlines there. But anyway, let's get into the more exciting part of the podcast, the big group discussion. So today we're going to be talking about our top 5 pound-for-pound hardest hitters. Right now, currently, we've got to disclose that. We could have done of all time, but I thought it'd be more interesting to do it currently. And let's get into it. So we're going to read out our top 5 that we've got, and then we'll go into a discussion afterwards. So, Johan, over to you. Let's hear your top 5 current pound-for-pound boxers.
So 1 and 2, Pope's Ambassador of Peace, the Bronze Bomber. I've given him both top slots. His right hand gets the number 1 slot, and his left comes in second place. The way he crumpled Brazil with that overhand right, that hurting power, that's the power I want. I don't want to hone my skills over 400 amateur fights. I don't want to practice my footwork and technique. I want raw, hurting power. That's how I want to lay out my enemies. That's how I want to deal with my boss. What, you don't like my spreadsheet? You don't like my pivot table? Bang. How'd you like me now? Now you're fucking dead. I don't care that he looks like a pantomime coming into the ring and walks around it strung up like a puppet with his chin sticking out. He's got the opposite of the touch of Jesus. Where Jesus could heal, Deontay takes all healing away. Like I said, the Pope's emissary of pain, touching them with the peace of heaven. Third place, that goes to Victor Drago. I was going to include those Russians, Gassiev. Well, I was going to include those Russians, Gassiev, Beterbiev, and Bivol, but I can barely say their names, so they're out, and the spot goes to Victor Drago from Creed 2. Father and son, proving that you can only be born with that kind of hurting power. You can't learn it. Fourth place goes to Canelo. I was going to include Triple G for breaking Kell Brook's eyes, but he was so old the last time he fought, I'm not sure if he's still alive. But I like those heavy punches with their thumping power. I'm going to give the spot to Canelo instead. Amir Khan may have weighed as much as a small bird when Canelo knocked him out, but I think bigger fighters should fight smaller ones so that it can be more of those spectacular kinds of knockouts. I must have watched the Amir Khan knockout a million times. Canelo's fucked up people from welterweight to much bigger opponents like Kovalev and light heavy. That right-hand finish with Kovalev slobbering all over the ropes was like the ceremony where the Crusher handed over fourth place to Canelo on my list. And fifth place, it should be Naoya, I can't even say his name, in a way, it should be the monster. Let's just call him the monster. But fuck anyone below middleweight. What is he, super bitch boy weight? I could stand there all day taking slaps from that bitch. He could wrap his hands in plaster. I don't care about the speed, punch selection and angles. It's like watching a starving child fight for scraps. Look, pound for pound, something shit like an insect is the toughest animal on the planet, but nobody cares. They want to watch wolves fight or lions ripping the shit out of elephants and giraffes. So I'm putting my favourite fighter and his left hook in the fifth slot, Dillian Whyte. He should probably be at the number one, but he's always getting overlooked. That's me, my top five.
Yeah, wow. What a monologue there from Johan.
Thank you. I prepared that.
That was like Shakespeare. Yeah. So top five. I can tell. Just run that through 1 to 5 then quickly. Just the names for everyone listening.
Just the names for everyone listening. Number 1 and 2, we've got Deontay Wilder, his left and his right hand. Third place, Victor Drago. Fourth place, Canelo. And fifth place, Dillian Whyte.
Dillian Whyte. All right, excellent. Okay, moving on to Joe now. It's going to be pretty hard to follow that up after Johan, but let's hear your top five.
Yeah, number one, it's going to be a given. It's got to be Deontay Wilder when you're talking about current fighters. I mean, Johan summed it up beautifully there. That knockout for me against Spilka stands out. The bloke that looks like John Joe Shelby just hit him with that 1-2 and his soul left his body. I mean, that really does talk for itself. Number two for me, I'm surprised Johan didn't mention him. Well, he did, but not in the way I thought, was Golovkin for me. 40 wins, 35 knockouts. For me, the variation of his knockout punches, whether it be a left hook to the body, straight right, an overhand right, you name it. When you look at his knockout on Willie Monroe Jr., that was just a thing of beauty. Hitting with that left hook, and also poor Kell Brook. Yeah, and you touched on it. I mean, his eye looked like a dog's dinner at the end of that fight.
He took his eyes.
That's my number two. Number three, I'm going to go with Roman. He did. I'm going to go with Roman Gonzalez for my number three, super flyweight. He does stand at 5'3". Johan, you said anything below middle doesn't count, but I tell you what, you catch Roman Gonzalez tucked in bed with your missus, mate, you're going to tuck him in. Like he's got power. 41 knockouts, 49 wins. He's like a little bull terrier. He's like a dog with a bone, and he'll be after you in the ring. Like
Johan's dildo's got more power than that. I'm telling you.
I don't know. I wouldn't debate that. Yeah, I don't put that past it. Number four for me, same as Johan, Canelo. Knockout power displayed throughout all weights. Really, you just mentioned the Khan and the Kovalev one. I mean, he hit Khan, and honestly, he folded like a fucking camping chair. Beautiful punch. And then number five for me, it's got to be AJ. I think it'd be rude not to mention him. You say White gets overlooked a lot, but in these sort of discussions, it's often the case with Anthony Joshua. So we've all seen his knockouts. We've all seen what he can do. Big, heavyweight, a lot of power, a lot of speed. He's my number five. So to run through my 1 to 5, Wilder at 1, Golovkin at 2, 3, Roman Gonzalez, 4, Canelo, 5, Anthony Joshua.
Yeah, that's a good list, Joe. But I think we've got to touch on Roman Gonzalez there. That's a quite an interesting choice there. How many knockouts did you say he had?
41. 41.
That is
so,
pretty insane for a super flyweight. But
exactly.
yeah, no,
Yeah.
fair enough. All right, Jimmy, are you ready with your top 5? Do you want to read them out?
Yes, so my top 5, starting 5th place, I'm going for Gervonta Davis. He's got dynamites in his fist. He's quick, he's strong, he bullies fighters a lot bigger than him. In 4th, it's a safe bet. It's that man, Canelo Alvarez, an absolute beast. He is like a T40 tank. He just keeps going through people. In 3rd place, again, going with one of Joe's choices, AJ. He's humble, but my God, he can put people to sleep. In 2nd place, it was a tight one, but it's the bronze bomber. It's Deontay. He is very dangerous. If you see him cross the road, you do not want to even shake his hand. That's how dangerous those fists are. And in 1st place, it's got to be Triple G. He is an absolute monster. He is, when he comes home every night, it's Halloween every night, because my God, that man, I'm sure he's given everyone he's fought an absolute nightmare. So just to summarize, in 5th place, Gervonta Davis, 4th Canelo, 3rd AJ, 2nd Deontay Wilder, and 1st place Triple G.
All right, good. That's a great list. Okay, going on to me now. I've started off at number 5 with a bit of a controversial one, and I reckon I'm probably going to get a bit of hate for this and a bit of getting the whole casual fan stuff. But I've actually gone for Daniel Dubois. I think he's only had 14 fights, but 13 KOs, and my God, that guy can bang. He's early in his career. I've seen him fight live. I've watched him fight Lati, I think it was, and he literally took that man's soul. And I know I'm going to get the whole thing of, he's only knocked out taxi drivers and whatever. But I think take a look at Deontay Wilder's record. Tell me who the big names on Wilder's record.
Yeah, but it ain't easy.
I still think Daniel Dubois has got ferocious power.
But it ain't easy to knock out taxi drivers.
What were you saying, Jan?
I said, but it ain't easy to knock out taxi drivers. We've all tried it, haven't we, when we've not had the money to pay? It's not an easy thing.
Yeah, that's true. I suppose I should be giving him a bit more credit for that. Anyway,
no,
so number 5
got Mike. I do rate Daniel Dubois as a choice. He has got awesome power, and if he was my taxi driver, I'd give him whatever he wanted.
yeah.
No sexual innuendos in that, by the way.
Taxi.
Oh God. So at number 4, I've got the Kazakhstan Warrior, as everyone else has gone for. It's got to be Golovkin for me at number 4. I think he's an absolute monster. A few people have touched on him already. 40 wins, 35 KOs. What he did to Kell Brook, oh my God. The man was never the same after he got in the ring with Golovkin. He should never really have taken that fight. But yeah, Golovkin for me at number 4. And number 3, I've got the only ginger Mexican, the guy who gets his meat from a power plant. It's got to be Canelo Alvarez. He's an incredible fighter. Insane knockouts. I think the Kovalev fight says it all for me. If you're jumping up that many weight classes and you're still knocking the guy out, you've got to justify your place in this list. But I've put him ahead of GGG purely because I think if we're looking at them both right now, I think Canelo just probably edges it because I think he's coming more into his prime now, and Golovkin's. And at number 2, I've gone for the deadliest thing to come out of Asia since the coronavirus in Nue. I think this guy is an incredible knockout artist. He's got 19 fights, 16 KOs, man. That says it all, especially for a bantamweight, man. His fight with Nodito Donaire, I butchered that name completely. Although he didn't knock that Donaire out in that fight, it was an incredible fight. He's a great body shot puncher. And yeah, if you haven't watched him fight recently, go and check him out. Really built like a 12-year-old. I know Jörn's given that whole spiel about that. I do know what he's saying there. We want to look at the heavyweights, but we've got to consider Nue if we're talking about pound for pound. Anyway, over to number one. I've gone for the baptizer. I've gone for Deontay Wilder. It's a no-brainer.
Yes.
How Jimmy hasn't put Deontay Wilder at number one, we don't know. But it's got to be Wilder for me. The Brazil knockout, the Spilka knockout, we've all listed them. He really does collect souls when he hits people. But anyway, I think let's now see if we can create a communal top 5 hardest hitters. This is going to be quite difficult because we've got a few variations, but we've got a few at the same time. We've got a few similar ones. We've got a few Wilders, Triple G, Canelo. So let's start with number one. Fuck what Jimmy was saying.
Number one for
Fuck
talking
off, Jimmy.
shit
It's
has got to be
Deontay
Yohan.
Wilder. It's Deontay Wilder number one. I'm not. It's not up for discussion. Who agrees with me there?
Yeah.
I
It's not up for
I've
discussion.
got to take control there.
Yep.
It's
Yep.
not up for discussion.
Yeah, I think it's got to be Wilder.
We've got 3 against 1.
If you don't agree with it, you can take one from him.
You can take one from him. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Number 2. This one it gets a bit hard. So
Dylan White. Dylan White.
Dylan White. Nah, for me, I get what you're saying. I think
It's
that
not
left hook
difficult.
Is serious. Is
James Tony-esque, isn't it? That
Yeah.
left hook.
If we were doing a top left hooks, pound for pound left hooks, I think he would be number 1.
AJ and White have both thrown their best punches at each other, and one man left the ring in a stretcher, and the other walked out with his hands above his head. No debate.
Yeah, I think that's quite a strong counter in the top 5. When he was laying on the floor with the referee's trying to take the gum shield out his mouth, that is awful.
White had to go for AJ after the bell a few times. I think that sort of shows how it went down.
But number 2, who
All right.
did everyone have as number 2? I had Nue.
I had Golovkin at number 2.
Yohan didn't actually have.
I had Wilder at 2.
Who was yours again? Yohan?
He had his left hook.
No, for number
Wilder's
2.
Yeah.
He had Wilder.
Well, number 2. I had Wilder's right hand and then his left hand at number 2. But the next real fighter I had was Canelo, and I think we all had Canelo on our lists.
Canelo.
Yeah, perhaps that's the biggest case for him being number 2. Then we've all
Yeah, I
spoke
think
about him.
Canelo is a strong shout for number 2.
He's on everyone's, yeah.
So that would give us one.
Mike, you're always going to stick up for the gingers, aren't you?
Oh,
That's
yeah.
Mate, it's strawberry blonde is the beard. I wouldn't go as far as to say it's ginger, but yeah. No, I'm always got to stick up for them. We're a minority in this world at the moment, but anyway, so we've got Wilder number 1, number 2. I think we're going to go for Canelo.
I think that's
we?
best Canelo. Yeah,
Number 3, Triple G.
I say Triple G number 3.
Yeah, it flows.
Too old, too
Yeah,
old.
I'm
Too
happy
old.
with Triple G.
Too old.
Too
Yeah,
old.
There is a shout to say he is definitely on the way out at the moment.
I could probably take a punch from Triple G now he's as old as he is.
I would pay a lot of money to see that. If anyone has got his number, or I mean a lot of money. I'm talking blank check here.
I would quite like to have seen him, to be fair, fight Billy Joe Saunders in the state.
Yeah,
with the
both
way
in
he's-
their
Yeah.
primes. Maybe that could have been.
But even like, if
Did Billy Joe Saunders ever have a prime?
G on the way out, I think.
I think Saunders could outpoint him.
Yeah,
Definitely.
Well, I'd say he's probably still. Well, yeah. You know, everyone talks about that Lemieux fight, isn't it? That's like to say when it was in. Yeah.
You could put Lemieux on this list as
Anyway,
well.
We've got
Hard
Wilder,
hitting.
Canelo. Yeah, no, Lemieux is definitely a good shout. It's definitely a good shout. I think he's one who would definitely get overlooked.
I mean, I wouldn't put him on the list, but you could.
I mean,
Yeah.
there's got to be a shout for Kovalev as well, perhaps in there in his younger days.
I told you, he handed it
He's
over.
killed a man in the ring. How many people can say that?
How many people want to say that? God,
Yeah,
yeah.
in that Canelo fight. Yeah.
So,
Well, Jim, you mentioned Gervonta Davis. That's an interesting one. I sort of want to hear you back up your fighter there. He didn't really spring to mind. He's got the power, but he didn't spring to my mind.
Yeah, I think if you watch his early fights, he just I know a lot of them are journeymen, but he just obliterates people, and it's fascinating watch him because he's got such power, such athleticism, and he dominates people a bit like Tyson, except like a pint-sized version. When he gets in the ring with people, they can have 2-3 inches on him, and he just closes off the gaps. Doesn't let them breathe, fires quick combinations, and he is a fighter of the future. He's banging his prime. He's going to take people out. Mark my words.
Yeah, no, he's an insane fighter to watch and a real hard hitter. There's a lot of talk about him potentially fighting Lomachenko. Well, it's been in the people have been talking about it for a long time, and it's a fight I definitely would like to see.
Both got a lot of flair about them. Both very unique fighters.
You got with Gervonta, you've got the kind of power puncher, and then you've got the technician in Lomachenko. But that would be
a great fight to see. That well could do it right now, that's for sure.
Yeah, definitely. So we've got, to reiterate that, we've got Canelo, we've got Wilder, Canelo. Number 3, we've got Triple G. Number 4,
I say AJ's got to be in there. Number 4.
I'd give AJ. I think Inouye's getting a bit phased out.
Yeah.
Personally, I'd have Inoue in there, but purely because a few people haven't really spoken about him. I think we'll go for AJ at number 4.
Yeah, any man that's knocked out Klitschko, I'm sorry, he's got that knockout power. He's got to be on the list. I'd have him closer to the top, but I'll settle for 4th.
Wait, when you say anyone who's knocked out Klitschko, lots of people have. What?
Not what? I can count them on one hand. Saying that Yo can only count to 5, so that is quite a lot for him.
Yeah, I've only got one hand.
Right, so I think so I do think we've got a top 5 list there. We've got Wilder, Canelo, Triple G, AJ, and then Inoue. I think that's a pretty solid.
Hold on. Did we agree on Inoue at 5th?
I kind of just slipped him in there at number 5.
I feel you should, because I felt guilty because I couldn't remember how to say his name.
Yeah. I feel like we have to have at least someone below middleweight in there. Otherwise, we're going to get
Gervonta Davis
doing a pound for pound. Gervonta Davis, yeah. To be fair, they're them two. Who hits harder?
Yeah,
we need to virtually simulate this fight.
He is really a little.
Who wins then, the monster or the tank?
I think Roman Gonzalez comes in there again. If we're talking little man syndrome, chocolatito.
I'd put Jimmy in there,
Yeah, Jimmy's, yeah.
Yeah, Jim, tell us more about that little man syndrome.
You should ask your wife first. She'll tell you all about her little man.
Well, we could do that. Top 4 out of us. Who's the power for power?
Yeah, there we go. That'll reel in some views, I'm sure.
We could do a live video for that. I reckon that'd probably be more interesting.
Yeah.
But I think we've come to the end of really we can all discuss about.
I think we should.
So yeah, I think. Is there anyone else? Is there any honourable mentions? People we haven't spoken about so far? I'm trying to think off the top of my head.
One of I guess you can say the Klitschko brothers, but they're past
they time now, aren't they?
Well, Mike Tyson's going to be active very soon, so you got to give him a nod.
Yeah, Mike Tyson. Yeah,
he goes straight to the top.
I guess with Tyson, and when you talk about Triple G, and you talk about
hello,
Johan.
I think we may have
sounded like you were going to make a really shit point there. So that is that's.
No, I'm back. I'm back. No, I was just saying that the difference between that explosive power and the thumping power. So you've got a Wilder with explosive power, like a Mike Tyson, and you've got a Triple G where it's that thumping hard power. You imagine with Triple G that every single shot that he makes is a heavy, hard shot, whereas with Deontay it's that one-off and explosive power.
Yeah, it's more thorough and thought through almost.
Yeah, it's kind of like when they break down their opponent, isn't it? It's like an ongoing war. You saw that with the Golovkin-Lemieux fight. Like by the end of that fight, Lemieux literally, it looked like it had facial reconstructive surgery.
Yeah.
Like the way just took continual beating.
You could say Usyk deserves a mention. Like, he's got some great knockouts on his record.
No, he doesn't.
Which I think speaks.
It's not having it.
You tell him that, Johan. Go on.
I've just got a delay. I've got a delay on my sound.
That was a really precise.
That was a beautiful knockout. Yeah.
No, that's just that is just because you're slow.
But do you know why it was a beautiful knockout? Because you saw the reason why it was a beautiful knockout is you saw like the nature of true love with Eddie Hearn cupping his hands as he tried to like get Bellew's head. That's what I found. So that's what made it a beautiful knockout. That he was just
that was a beautiful image. Yeah.
Yeah.
See, that wasn't love, yo. That is when a valuable asset has just extinguished its last pound of value. That is
There's no
when
more you can get
your
out
bank
of it.
balance and there's zero. He wasn't cupping anything. He was just making sure he's alive so he can get the insurance payment.
Yeah, I saw that Eddie Hearn's even got him going on game shows now. I saw a clip of an SAS thing where Tony Bellew was stood there getting beaten up by I think it was women and children with sticks or something. He wasn't allowed to hit them back. I mean, he's sunk pretty low.
As long as he gets home to his wife and kids, he's a happy man, I think.
COVID-19's probably been great for him. Staying home with his wife and kids.
But I think we may have covered the. I can hear Yo is definitely on a delay. Like he just randomly starts laughing. But I think we've covered there probably the current top 5 pound for pound hardest hitters. I'm quite happy with that list of Wilder, Canelo, GGG, AJ, and then definitely Inoue at the end. But I think we'll round that up. Thank you very much for listening, everyone. Tune in next week, and we'll be on to another discussion. But
stay safe, everyone.
Stay safe in this time. But please remember to like and subscribe. Thank you for listening. Goodbye.